Lurking in the tall grass, high on windswept deserts, in dense tropical rainforests, on soaring hills and amid stormy seas. Wherever it's warm, wherever it's safe, wherever you least expect it, an animal is hiding and hunting. Some people fear and hate them, while others revere and worship them. They are unlike any other animal, a carnivore, a cold-blooded hunter, a symbol, the snake. Snakes are one of the most numerous carnivorous animals on Earth. They are found on every continent except Antarctica, across vast lands and through the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Snakes are incredibly diverse, with over 20 families and 3,400 species. They can range in size from just a few dozen centimeters long to the reticulated python, which can be 5 times the height of a grown man. Their prey can be insects and rodents, or buffalo and crocodiles, and even other snakes. They evolved from lizards during the Cretaceous period, over 100 million years ago. They thrived after the extinction of the dinosaurs and became a dominant reptile, a formidable predator. Snakes can use venom or constriction to kill their prey, or even swallow them alive. For venomous snakes, a single precise bite is all it takes to inject venom. The snake then waits for its prey to die before it begins to eat. Meanwhile, constrictors like pythons and boas use their powerful muscles to crush their prey by coiling tightly around them, cutting off blood flow and oxygen. They can take down large prey like sheep and buffalo. However, most snakes target smaller prey, such as voles and mice. The snake will swallow the mouse whole while it is still alive. Snakes have no arms or legs. Instead, they have 200 to 400 vertebrae, each connected to powerful muscles that allow them to move without limbs. Snakes slither on the ground and climb trees. Most move using lateral undulation, shifting their body from left to right in an alternating pattern, creating a unique method of movement. Although this may look fast, it actually isn't. Other snakes, like vipers, use a sidewinding motion. The snake's body moves in sections, lifting and pushing off gently. This method helps them conserve energy on uneven terrain with no solid surface to push off from, such as on sand dunes or mud flats. When there isn't enough space for lateral movement, a snake will use the concertina method. It anchors its tail while extending its head and neck forward. However, this requires more energy and is very slow. Pythons and boas can also move in a straight line using rectilinear locomotion. They slowly lift and shift their body without much movement from the ribs, creating ripples on their skin. This is an extremely stealthy and gentle movement, used mainly for stalking prey. The brown tree snake uses a combination of all these movement methods. Some snake species in Southeast Asia have yet another way to move. They flatten their ribs and launch themselves from treetops, gliding through the air for dozens of meters. They can even turn their bodies in mid-air. To accommodate their elongated body shape, a snake's internal organs are arranged from front to back, rather than side by side. Most snakes have only one functional lung. A snake's strongest sense is its sense of smell. With its forked tongue, a snake can collect tiny particles from the air and bring them into its mouth to be analysed by a sensory area called the Jacobson's organ. This allows them to both taste and smell their surroundings, even determining the direction a scent is coming from. This is why a snake's tongue constantly flicks in and out, continuously sampling everything around it to determine if predators or prey are nearby. A snake's eyesight varies between species. Some have excellent binocular vision, while others can barely distinguish between light and dark. However, they all share a keen ability to react quickly to movement. Snakes are also very sensitive to vibrations in the air and on the ground. allowing them to easily sense any nearby animal. Some snakes, like pythons, vipers, and boas, even have highly sensitive infrared receptors. These allow them to see the heat signatures of warm-blooded animals. These organs are located inside deep grooves or pits on or around the snake's snout. Thanks to a uniquely flexible lower jaw that is split into two parts, a snake can open its mouth wide to swallow large prey. Contrary to popular belief, a snake's jaw doesn't dislocate. Instead, the entire skull flexes and separates at multiple points, allowing the snake to swallow prey much larger than its head, including large mammals and even humans. Unlike what we might imagine, snake skin is usually dry and smooth, not slimy. The entire length of a snake's body is covered in scales of varying sizes and textures. Even a snake's eyes are covered by a transparent scale called a spectacle, which protects it in place of movable eyelids. The shape and number of scales are often used to differentiate between species. The scale structure often corresponds directly to the snake's internal organs. All snakes shed their skin at various stages of their lives, a process called ecdysis. This means they shed their entire outer layer of skin, revealing a new layer of scales underneath, similar to peeling off a sock. This helps clean parasites off the snake's body. Before shedding, a snake will find a secluded place to hide. Its outer skin becomes dry and dull, and its eyes turn cloudy. The inner surface of the old skin liquefies, separating it from the new skin underneath. The skin first splits at the mouth and head, after which the snake can slowly work its body out of the opening and the old skin is gradually peeled off. This process occurs about 1 to 4 times a year. As a cold-blooded creature, a snake depends on the surrounding air or water temperature to maintain its physical activities. When the temperature drops at night, a snake becomes inactive. Snakes living in colder climates will enter a state of hibernation during the cold winter days. Temperature therefore greatly affects a snake's ability to digest. After eating, especially after swallowing large prey, a snake also enters an inactive state while digestion occurs. Since many snakes only eat occasionally, their entire intestinal tract enters a resting state to save energy. In almost all species, the male snake constantly seeks a mate. Once a female is found, they can mate at any time of the year or during their life cycle. All snakes use internal fertilization for reproduction. The male snake has a forked reproductive organ called a hemipenis, which is usually kept inverted inside its body and is everted during mating. The mating process for snakes is brief and repetitive. For some species, mating rights are decided through combat between males to determine which one can mate with the female. In other species, a male may mate with multiple females. Likewise, in some species, a female may also mate with multiple males. Most snakes are oviparous, meaning they lay eggs, which they then abandon. Because the eggs are encased in a soft shell, the baby snake can easily push its way out. Some snakes, like pythons and king cobras, protect their eggs. A female python will even try to warm them by gently shivering to incubate them. However, other snakes keep the eggs inside their bodies until they are close to hatching. Meanwhile, constrictors like boas give live birth. After birth or hatching, the young snakes must fend for themselves. Many will become prey for birds, cats, weasels, and even other snakes. Although snakes are not typically a threat to humans, venomous snakes may strike when threatened. This often happens to farmers, fishermen, and hunters who accidentally step on or get too close to them. Many snakes give warning signs to anyone who threatens them, such as the characteristic sound of a rattlesnake or a cobra flaring its neck ribs to make itself look much larger than normal, while other snakes will hiss when someone approaches. When a snake strikes, Long fangs or other specialized teeth inject venom into its victim. 1/4 of all known snake species are venomous. The venom of different snakes has different effects, so venomous snakes cannot all be classified as one distinct family. Some snakes carry neurotoxins that affect the brain and nervous system, which can cause paralysis, as seen with the African black mamba or the king cobra. Alternatively, the venom can cause severe muscle contractions, leading to death, as with some species of rattlesnakes. Meanwhile, other snakes may carry cytotoxins, which affect the blood, cardiovascular system, and cell structure. For example, the venom of the habu snake in Japan destroys cell membranes, while the venom of most vipers causes the victim's blood to coagulate. Additionally, the venom of some cobras can paralyze the victim's heart muscle. In these cases, the best treatment is usually a specific anti-venom serum. Conversely, the bite of a non-venomous snake is usually harmless. Their teeth are mainly used for gripping and holding, not for piercing or tearing prey.
They are not a threat to humans or larger animals. Larger constrictors, such as the African rock python and the reticulated python, have taken human lives on more than one occasion. Although this is very rare, as snakes usually prefer other prey, for instance animals larger than us, we have not recorded any human fatalities related to the anaconda, despite its fearsome reputation.
The root word for serpent comes from an ancient term for the act of crawling or slithering. In Judeo-Christian mythology, the snake has long been used to represent evil or deception. Its slow, slithering movement and forked tongue have become symbols of malice and deceit. The Book of Genesis describes the snake as the cunning creature in the Garden of Eden that tempted Adam and Eve with the forbidden fruit. It later became a symbol of Satan. Therefore, the word snake is often used as an insult today. However, in Hindu culture, the snake is a revered animal. They are known as the Naga, divine serpentine beings who are worshipped annually at festivals throughout India. In ancient Egypt, the cobra was also worshipped as a deity, such as Wadjet, the protective goddess and patron of the land and the pharaohs, or Reina Nutet. In Mesoamerican cultures, snakes and jaguars were both revered as gods. The snake was believed to be a gateway between two worlds. The image of the snake has also been linked to legends of a great flood which it was said to have initiated. Similarly, Norse mythology describes a giant serpent encircling the world, called the Midgard serpent, Jörmungandr. The image of the Ouroboros, a serpent eating its own tail, became a symbol of immortality and alchemy. In Greek mythology, the snake plays a dual role. In many stories, it is associated with monstrous enemies like Medusa, but it is also a symbol of medicine. The snake's periodic shedding of its skin symbolizes renewal and restoration. This symbol, the rod of Asclepius, is still used in medicine today. Today, snakes are often kept as pets, especially smaller constrictors, because they don't require much space or extensive care. They do not need to be fed frequently, usually once every 1 to 2 weeks. And they have very long lifespans, sometimes over 40 years with proper care. However, there are also many unreliable dealers who sell endangered species or snakes that can grow too large to be kept as pets, leading to many constrictors being killed or released into the wild. Today, many large constrictor species are threatened with extinction due to severe deforestation and human encroachment on their land. Some cultures also regularly cook and eat snake. In some Asian countries, snake blood is used as a stimulant, and snake parts are often soaked in alcohol to make snake wine. This is a popular drink in China, where it is believed to have medicinal properties.
Only a small number of snake species are dangerous to humans, while most snakes prey on rodents and pests. It seems their bad reputation is almost entirely unearned, stemming mainly from their strange, limbless body shape,
as well as from misconceptions and superstitions, rather than from their actual nature. Nevertheless, the snake remains one of the most successful and numerous predators on this planet.